sick this week, which is a real bonus. And of course, the real welcoming is to everybody on the channel, who I am calling the Indoor Adventurers League because there are a lot of you that I like to have on my show, so why not just keep having people on the show? And then that way, if you get a magic item, you can carry it through to the same character if you play one that's around the same time. We'll just Adventurers League rule it. Anyway, doesn't matter. Welcome to the stream. This is going to be the finale, hopefully, of the turning season, as our heroes last time got very close to who they believe is a hag that goes by the name of Old Nan, after they talked with a bunch of snakes out near one of the melts, which are lakes that form in the general vicinity of where this adventure takes place. The adventure, of course, taking place in the sleepy town of Pine Point. Previously, our adventurers decided to split up. So two of them are currently very close to a hag, talking to a young girl. And then the other two were playing tag with a bunch of kids in town, because that seemed really fun.
Yay!
So, we are actually going to be introducing those parties now. So, to my left, we have RJ. RJ, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, my name is Justice on the interwebs, and I am doing something dumb right now. Not like, actually like, not being here is considered dumb. I'm actually physically doing something dumb as opposed to... I'm babbling. Hi! You can find me at RJustice282 on Twitter.
All right, and directly below him, we have Cyberwolf, who is going to be playing Carter the Snake Man. Cyber, where can we find you?
Hi, you can find me on Twitter at Cyberwolf1201. You can also find me here on Twitch at Cyberwolf1201, where I play games that aren't normally RPGs. But yeah.
All right, next up is our Furbolg friend, Greybeard. Who are you playing? Where can we find you?
Hello, I'm playing Brother Tree. He's a Furbolg monk. And you can find me at GreybeardTavern on Twitch, Twitter, Tumblr, and YouTube. Yep, that's me.
All right, excellent. And last but not least, we have, up in the top corner, Wings, or Danae Keener. Who are you playing? Where can we find you?
No,
Hello?
sketching. You hear me? Sketching. That's right.
Hi, my name is Wings, and I draw really cool stuff at DanaeKeener.com. You should totally commission me. I've got great prices.
I recommend it.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, I was muted.
Oh, wow, such great prices.
You guys, you missed the fact that I completely said the wrong character name, and you never would have known. I'm playing Virtue, and she is a tiefling swashbuckler. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. It's great to see you guys.
Great to see you too. All right, so last we left off, this actually works really well with the stream, as the group on the left is talking to the hag, and the group on the right are playing tag. So we're going to start this session off with where we left off last time, which is in the middle of the woods with Carter and Whistler, as they just got done talking to a raven who told them and kind of led them towards a meeting between a young girl and who you have seen is Old Nan. What would you guys like to do? You've seen this old lady give this young girl something into the palm of her hand, say a few words, and then they kind of separate a little bit.
Whistler leans up and tugs onto Carter's sleeve and goes,
Red alert! Red alert!
Yes, I see them. Do we want to go say hi, or
No!
do you? Okay. Shit. What do we do?
Need you vanish! No. I try to stealth away, pulling Carter towards the bushes.
I will be pulled.
Okay. So yeah, you guys find yourself getting pulled off to the bushes, or Carter, you do at least. I would like for both of you guys to make stealth checks as you try and maneuver your way out of a small clearing.
22.
Okay.
21.
Yeah, no, you guys are stealthy as all hell. So, basically, as you see this kid start turning around, you just kind of grab Carter's shoulder and pull him in, or I guess it would be like his waist, because how tall are you as a Kenku?
3'5".
Yeah, so you kind of grab onto his waist, and pull him off to the side, and you guys manage to get out of any clear line of sight, just off in the brush deep within the woods. Time passes for a little bit. Nothing happens.
All right. When it's free, like it's empty, you see Whistler poke his head out, look left, look right.
Yeah, it seems like make a perception check.
I'm good at these. 24.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So what you see is that the young girl kind of off towards the edges, like not the end of your vision, because for some reason people can see upwards of like a mile in this game as like a general like, hey, I can make out all the distinct stuff. But like you see this girl like maybe 400 feet off, just walking by herself, clutching something in her hands in front of her, but she's not being followed or accompanied by anybody. But you can see that there are a few birds on the trees that just sort of seem to be flying in front of her, just going from branch to branch.
We should get back to the group.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
And we will GTFO.
GTFO in like the sort of opposite direction away from her, I guess.
Kind of like walk parallel to her, just very far off.
Yeah.
Okay. Make another set, or I guess, are you guys being stealthy about this?
We're rushing it, so...
Okay. Make a set of survival checks then, as you try and navigate yourself through the woods down a path you're not very familiar with.
Oh, I'm not good at these at all.
17.
7.
Okay. Yeah, so Carter, you are you're walking along this path for a while, and as you're looking around, you eventually see these snakes that sort of rear their heads up, and you're kind of just like, village, like point to a direction. You see it like look, shake its head, and it motions for the other way, and you're like, oh, okay, sweet. And then you manage to you find your way back after this small snake has decided to offer you a little bit of help, as the great snake that you met previously has told all of the snakes to be on their best behavior with their new friend around.
That's so nice. Thank you so much, no snake friends.
No problem. He doesn't seem to
we're
want
just
to
gonna-
use any S noises. It's almost weird. But yeah, so he like motions for you to follow, and then after about a half hour, you guys find yourself on the road, roughly a couple 100 feet away from the entrance to the village. But this is an entrance that you just haven't used before, but you know that this is the town, as you came in from the north across a river, and then when you exited town, you also went north up towards the woods as well.
Okay. Shall we try to find Brother Tree and Virtue?
Rapid head nods.
Where are they?
And at that point, we can pan over to our good friends who have been playing tag for quite some time, or at least were playing tag. Are you guys still in the throes of childlike enjoyment? Because I know, Brother Tree, as soon as one of the children, a girl by the name of Kess, started coming after you, with your monk-like speed and also kind of heavy footfalls, you just quickly outpaced any possible child who would want to be who could possibly play tag with you.
Yeah, because if they touched me, my disguised self would disappear, and suddenly I'd be 8 foot tall and 300 pounds and scare the poor children.
Mm-hmm.
But both of us, me and Virtue, were that way.
Yep.
So
And I know that
I believe
Virtue started the game of tag as she tried to do the playful punch on the shoulder to a fellow young girl. And we are using air quotes on young girl because... well, Virtue is disguised as a 12, almost 13-year-old girl, and was up until playing tag, singing while skipping down the street, talking about how great it was to be young and almost 13.
attempting to draw in the hag, of
Yes.
course. I believe Wings is still muted.
Shoot, I did that again. Hi! I'm listening, I'm here. Alert.
We were fleeing the children. Do you have a further plan? Because Brother Tree was following your lead.
Yeah, I don't... I think that this particular lead was a bust. So, unless Virtue can calm these kids down, and to the point where we could start talking again. But I think that she's realizing that her abilities to relate with the hip crowd isn't necessarily following quite well here. So I think that the goal here will be to lose them.
Okay.
Just straight up lose them.
In that case, for you, I would like for you to make a dexterity saving throw to try and avoid getting touched as one of these kids reaches out, nearing you as during the thralls of tag.
All right, dex save. Let's do this. That is a 15 total.
Oh,
did I say 15? I meant 17.
All right. He rolled an 18 to tag you.
Dadgummit!
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He loves tag. So yeah, this kid just runs up. Like as you turn a corner, you turn left around a building, and as you do, you just see this kid running up straight for you, hand outstretched, just going for the full-on tagging motion. And as he does, his hand goes to grab where your arm is, but he ends up kind of just jabbing his hand into your side. And then I believe you have to make a concentration check, or is it just that the form is broken?
He can feel that, it's a visual thing, but not a tactile thing.
Okay.
So depending on where he grabs me, he can tell. Actually, let me actually read the errata. Fail to hold up to physical inspection for that example. Add a hat. I'm seeing if it has any mechanical whatever. Otherwise, yeah. Well, yeah, he could definitely he could definitely tell that something's not right.
Yeah. So he just after his hand passes through where your shoulder would be and it sinks into that form, as he ends up touching your side, he just kind of stops and looks at you. Dad, and he just starts yelling for his dad.
All right.
And he just runs away from you at this point.
Cool. Extra trying to leave kids now. Extra leaving.
Okay. So make a stealth check. As you continue to move, you can see that this kid's dad actually wasn't very far off.
Okay, bye.
Yep, he looks like he was one of the workers in the field.
Yep. That's another 17.
Okay, yeah, no, that's totally fine. You managed to slink away, just in the nick of time.
All right. Did I lose Brother Tree as well?
That Brother Tree, were you just like running in a direction?
I think what probably ended up happening was Brother Tree like shot out, like crouched down behind a doghouse, and then like changed back and then stood up and from behind the doghouse. So he's like 3 times the size of the doghouse, but he just sort of comes up out of nowhere, creepy style, like because it was like the only thing he could find to hide behind real quick and change back, and then he'll lope back towards Virtue.
All right, Virtue's like in some bushes.
Got a bunch of twigs in your hair.
Yep. She's still got her little girl disguise on, and she'll just kind of like pop out of the bush, like pop her head out of the bushes, be all like, "All right, well that didn't go super great."
No, didn't.
I didn't really want to do this, but it looks like we're gonna have to take it right to the source. Brother Tree, will you follow me into the woods? And
Yes.
and maybe like, just a few feet back, and just kind of
Okay.
keep an eye on things.
Find our friends.
All right.
Okay. I want both of you to make a perception check.
Cool. Ooh,
14 plus
19.
18.
Wow. We are dealing with a group of perceptive people, I would say. Everyone in
even
this
trained.
group has perception. This is great.
I'm a sniper.
It is about this time when you guys are thinking to yourself like, all right, we should start heading into the woods to see our friends. That's when you actually see the young girl that had been talking to Old Man in the woods that you guys don't know about coming from the woods back into town, and she just has like a nice smile on her face, and you guys can see that she's being almost followed and shepherded by this set of ravens that are just going from tree to tree.
Ooh. That should raise some red flags since we were briefed on the ravens the night before, right?
Yeah. No, definitely with the tale that Carter told you after talking to a bunch of really rad snakes in our episode prior, then yes, you would definitely know about that.
All right. Virtue kind of steals herself, and she's gonna approach that little girl,
Okay.
and she's gonna pull that move. She rocks up on her toes and goes, "What you doing?"
Oh, hello. It's nice to meet you.
Hi.
Do you have horns on your head?
She would still be disguised.
Oh, okay. I thought that you had broken the disguise. Sorry.
Nope. Sorry. I thought I'd mentioned that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was... Promise you won't tell anyone?
Sure.
Well, I was just going into the woods. My dad says that I have magic powers or something, and sometimes I get to talk to the animals. And so
Whoa! No way.
yeah, and so one of the animals said that old man had a gift for me. So I shouldn't have gone into the woods by myself, but you really, please don't tell anybody.
Oh, I won't. I've actually got magic powers too. And she's gonna like prestidigitate like some flowers to kind of fly in the air.
Her eyes just get really big.
That's amazing. I can do this.
And she has a it looks like a small iron disc, almost like a coin, but it doesn't have like any markings of currency or anything on it. And she grabs it and focuses as hard as she can, and you can see a little bit of sweat on her brow. And when she opens up her hands, the coin is just brilliantly lit, like it is illuminating light.
Wow, that's really awesome.
And she just covers her hands with it, and just like the light fades as she does.
Say, where did you meet Old Nan?
Well, she's always been in the town. I've known her since I was a baby.
Oh.
Have you?
How-
What about you?
how long-
Did you come here for the festival?
Oh yeah, I'm new in town.
What? I didn't
I'm
see
about
you.
to turn 13.
Wow, that's great. I heard that one of the other farmers' daughters was going to turn 13 this. I think today too. Do you guys have the same birthday?
I guess we must.
And you would know that girl who was going to turn 13 as the haggling that you fought last time.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
This girl does not seem to know about that, but mum's the word.
Yeah, actually, on second thought, I think my birthday's tomorrow. I don't keep really great track.
Well,
Shrug.
that's okay. That's why you always let your parents tell you how old you are, because they'd never lie to you.
Exactly. How old are you?
Oh, well, I'm 9. My birthday is. I think Dad said it was in 2 seasons. I'm not really sure, but I remember there being a lot of snow.
Oh, cool. Anyway, she's just gonna start walking
Is he your
sideways. Huh?
friend? Is he your friend?
She'll look up at Brother Tree, who's just kind of been like standing there.
Yep.
And I
Yes, he's my friend.
big exaggerated nods.
Promise you won't tell anybody that I was in the woods by myself. My dad always says that you shouldn't go into the woods by yourself as a general rule. And I know I was just doing magic.
Exactly.
You're not.
I
by
totally
yourself.
understand.
You're with us.
Yeah, you're not alone anymore.
Well, thank you. You're really kind. Well, I'm Ellie. What's your name?
Is she
Wonder.
Okay. Brother Tree.
Well, Wonder. That's a really wonderful name.
Oh, thank you.
I'm Brother Tree. It's nice to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like for you guys to make perception checks yet again.
Okay. Woo. Well, less good. 7.
11 plus 4, 15.
All right, so Brother Tree, with your naturally tall vantage point from being roughly 7.5 feet, you can see down the way as Carter and Whistler kind of hurriedly walk out of the woods into town and are just kind of looking around, almost like they are looking out for you guys.
Hail, friends. He's like 10 feet in the air is his hand or so.
Do we just see his hand, or?
Yeah, you hear the deep, monotonous voice of Brother Tree and just see this hand poking up out of the foliage, just waving at you guys.
Whistler points at the hand.
Hey.
And yeah, we'll start walking over that way.
All right. Well, I need to get back to my dad, so I'm gonna go. But it was nice meeting you, Wonder. Nice meeting you, Brother Tree.
And she starts to leave as you guys call over more people. She, again, doesn't want... she seems to really not want people to know she was in the woods by herself.
But she's heading back into town, not into the woods, right?
Yes, she's heading back into town.
Anything can happen in the woods.
Do you think that she's gonna be safe since she's not turning 13? She switches back to her like actual voice, but like it's coming out of a little girl's face.
That's awesome. Brother Tree says, "We're here. We'll protect them."
And it is at that point that Carter and Whistler arrive at Brother Tree.
Very panicked, like arm flailing.
Okay, so the Ravens, not good, not good at all. Not this. No, you are fine. You are not Raven. You are the third person.
What happened?
Well, they say that they lead little kids into the woods toward wolves, and that they have fun and make a lot of noise, which I don't think means what I think it meant that it meant. But we also saw a small girl talking to old Nan, and old Nan gave the little girl something, and then they started heading towards us, and then we ran away. And then started walking back to town, and now we're here. Hello, how did your stuff go?
Super great. Actually, we didn't get a lot of information.
We played tag.
Eyes furrowed, like, really? Is that what you did?
Well, tag is fun.
Mm-hmm.
You can have lots of fun with tag.
Yeah, tag is fun.
I'm the fastest.
He is actually. He I think he won.
Mm-hmm.
So we also saw old Nan, and she was in the woods. I don't know if we want to talk to her and see what she has to say, if she's turning little girls into hags, or if we want to just kill her.
Let's not be too hasty.
She gave the girls something.
Oh, what? Really? Oh, shoot. I could have asked her.
When you said kill her, Brother Tree's face all contorted like, what are you saying?
Yeah, that's probably for the best. But I mean, she just didn't seem like a very nice person, and if she is turning little girls into hags and making them kill their dads and stuff, then that's not good.
Well, if we make a mistake here, and it turns out she's not doing anything, then that could be bad. That could be really bad.
That would be very bad. You're right.
So we should, at very least, be sure. I think it's time to talk to old Nan.
Okay. Well, she was in the woods. I don't know if she'll be home, but we could go check there.
Oh. Or we could check out her house.
Ooh, you mean while she's not there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like she acts like there's not like, well, yeah, what's the problem?
Breaking and entering and murder are two different things.
Exactly.
Virtue like finger guns at Whistle. Exactly.
And Brother Tree has a weird perception of ownership anyway, so he doesn't get it. Let's go look at her house, you know.
Oh,
Okay.
Listen, if I wanted more, then it's all right.
we're trying. We're trying to be good. We're trying. Operative word.
Most of us.
All right. Virtue's gonna stay a little girl.
Okay. Do we know where old Nan lives? Did we know where she went whenever all the festival stuff went?
You would know from your conversation with the snakes that she has a shack near the lake.
Good.
Oh. Okay. Is that like in the same like area of the village, or is it closer to the woods?
It's a little bit removed from it. The lake is about a mile from the village itself. It's a little bit of a distance, but people don't really seem to think of it as a very far walk by any means. But the village wasn't built on the lakeside.
Okay. Do we need to do anything else here? Do we need to like talk to what's his name? The man who wanted to do the investigating.
Horace.
Horace. That's his name. Horace.
Hmm.
Or do you think that he would want to kill her?
I mean,
Very
Yes.
listen, I don't know the guy, but like he strikes me as like, you know, the by the book, figure things out kind of guy. Like maybe we want to have him on standby, just in case.
That would make sense. Do we know where he's staying?
Oh, probably with or one or two or what the blacksmith guy, right?
Yeah. He was staying with Otis.
Otis.
Brackmeyer.
Otis.
With the Brackmeyer Stout.
Yes. So yeah, you guys want to go and visit Horace and Otis?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The village is well, I guess the small town is sized properly enough that looking down the street, you guys can actually see where Otis has set up his smithy, which is along the river bend that goes towards the three-way point in the town. So it's actually towards the very center. And going up towards it, you guys can see that off to the side, like in the back of where his house is, that there is the furnace and forge that's set up. And then there are metal pipes coming from the top of the furnace that seem to be going into these medium-sized vats that all have different valves on it. And if you guys want, you can make a nature check or a history check.
I'm not good at either of those.
Neither am I.
Oh no, that's bad news for
10.
One.
Okay.
6.
Oh wait, I have a bonus. 3.
Okay.
We are so smart.
I also have a 3.
All right.
So
No, not a single clue what this is out back. But you go up to the door, and you knock on it, and you can see that as you do, it just kind of like swings open a little bit, and Otis is inside, drinking a kind of cloudier yellow liquid, talking to the investigator, Horace. And as you guys walk in, they both kind of look at you. And then Otis says, "Well, I guess that means break's over." And he just downs whatever he was drinking, sets it on the table, stands up, and walks outside.
Oh,
Horace just,
okay.
"It's nice to meet you." And his separation is in no way because it's hard to differentiate between voices sometimes. Now, welcome. I'm glad that you've come to visit me in Otis's shop. He's been kind enough to let me station myself here as I go to find out more about the problems that have been happening within this town. I'm glad you took me up on the offer to see me today. Did you guys end up finding out anything, either last night or earlier? I know it's about halfway through this day.
Yes. Well, nothing that we found out. But I talked to a lot of snakes. And they say that a whole bunch of ravens have been working with Old Nan, and making some girls go away. And then I talked to some of the ravens because I didn't want to just take the snake's words for it, even though I do like snakes.
As you do, nonpartisan.
But the raven, I think his name was Ka. He said that they would lead the children to the lake, where they would make a lot of noise, and have fun. I guess I don't think it means what he thinks it means. And he said the same thing about leading them to wolves and stuff. But they did say that they were working for Old Nan, so I believe the snakes. And then we saw Old Nan. I'm just gonna say the entire damn thing. And just debrief him on everything.
Okay. And he is just taking down notes as you continue to tell him the story, and then at the end he kind of reviews his notes a little quicker, and then lets you know that well, I think it's sounds like it's pretty close to a hag's MO to use ravens and wolves and other animals of the forest to do her bidding. So I think that we found the one. We found the main hag. The one that's causing all of these issues. Now, I don't know if getting rid of her will remove the issue from the surrounding area, but we'll know that at least there aren't any more haglings being made. Now, is there anything that either of the two of you also learned, or I guess any of the three of you? Carter, you did a great job talking to those snakes. That is something I could not do, even if I tried.
I learned I'm the fastest kid in town.
He's just you're a growing boy. It makes sense.
Well, I don't know. I think about the only thing that I've learned is that Old Nan gives them something. I don't know what, but she does. And you know what? I think that she's targeting little girls that already have some magical ability.
No, I don't think that last part's right. My daughter didn't have any magical ability, and she was targeted.
Do you know for sure?
Something a parent learns about their child when they go through the teething stage.
Ah. I wouldn't.
Well, I mean, sometimes kids don't learn magic until a bit later. I didn't know most of my stuff until my special sword came to me. So.
That's true. I actually had not thought about that. Maybe that's the case, but you said that she gives people things? What is, like, what?
The little girl had a shiny thing.
She had a what?
He makes a
A
circle.
little girl.
Oh shoot, Brother Tree, do you think that's what it was?
I don't know. It's a shiny with light. Metal light.
Metal.
We did not see Old Nan give our little girl anything. We saw her give her a thing, but we didn't see what that thing was.
Interesting. Interesting.
What did she give? What did this little girl have? What was it? And he starts looking through his journal.
Like this coin type thing?
And as you say that, he stops. Was it made of iron?
Yeah, that sounds right.
And he closes up his book.
Oh no.
Every
Why,
time.
wait, what?
Whenever the hag targets somebody, the coin's always there.
Oh.
I didn't know what it could have been up until this point, but the girl, we need to go to that house again. The house of the farmer, Durin was his name. We need to go there. If that little girl has an iron coin, if that little girl had an iron coin, then that's enough evidence for me.
All right, let's do it.
As we walk out, Brother Tree's like, what about little girl we just saw? She says coin.
All right. You go to Durin's. Look for the coin. I need to go to make sure that little girl, that coin gets away from her as quick as possible.
I would like to insight check.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I'm just blindly trusting this guy.
Can I have advantage because I have also murdered a child?
Phone, what?
Things I didn't know I wanted on a shirt part 2.
No. I
Oh yeah, no, I
last
remember.
session.
I thought this was
on stream, not
I
terrible
thought this was
backstory.
backstory stuff that I hadn't heard of. No, that's
13.
happened.
You say 13?
13.
Yeah. This guy seems very worried. And very much like he wants to leave his current setting as quick as possible, but not with an air of but not like with an air like he's backing away from something, but more like he's rushing towards something.
Oh, Horace. Tell her that Wonder sent you.
I don't know what that means, but I'll do my best. And he just turns and starts running.
Brother Tree follows him.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
We're splitting up.
All right.
Oh, no.
Just between my friend's trepidations and him thinking that the little girl they're going to is going to turn into one of those hags, he thinks he has to stop her so that this guy doesn't kill her. So that's why he's like, doom, after following after Horace.
Okay.
I kind of really want to follow Brother Tree. Can you go and see if the coin is there?
Right,
Yeah.
old chap.
Okay. And I'm gonna skirt.
All right. So are you all following Horace after he was like, we should split up?
Nope.
No,
Nope,
I will
we're-
go find the coin.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go find the coin. Those two will go.
Okay, sounds
Make
good.
sure Horace behaves himself.
Sure. So yeah, let's follow Brother Tree and Carter as you guys are running after Horace. And Brother Tree, you quickly catch up to him. And he just doesn't really he takes note of you, but he's not trying to now's the time to put a stick between his legs. He's not gonna try and sabotage you from running with him by any means.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Carter, you're just your snake legs are carrying you as fast as you can go, but Brother Tree is just making your 30-foot speed just look just almost laughable. Like this 7.5 foot, 300-pound dude is just going for it.
Well, stay on really, really tight. Gracias.
I always think of
Bless
Brother
you
Tree
on the
moving
side
like
of
a
the face
giraffe.
as you guys are running. Yeah, so after about a minute or so, you guys find yourself in front of a house, and Horace just starts pounding on the door, just yelling, "Everick, let me in! Everick!" He's just knocking on the door, and then you see the door creak open, and Kess and her younger brother, who I believe his name was Kurt. Both
Kurt.
of their heads are just stacked, one on top of each other, looking through the door. Dad's not home right now. can I help you with something? And Horace is like, where's your sister? And she says, Anissa? Well, she's off with that boy who wants to become a bard. No, not Anissa, the other sister. And she's like, oh, you mean Ellie? Well, she's been here the whole time, and didn't. What do you want with her, anyways? Look, I need to talk to her. I'm not gonna tell your dad. I understand, but she went into the woods. Is that true? Well, who told you that? Wonder sent me. That's what I was told to say. Wonder sent me. Where's your sister? And he's kind of like trying to look past these kids. And then just... Ellie, do you have a friend named Wonder? Yeah. Just a second. And then the other two kind of like back up into it. And Kurt's just been like locked eyes at Brother Tree and Carter this whole time. Just taking in this giant furbolg, and then this human with these snake-like eyes, just looking back. And then they eventually move out of the way, and you see Horace just kind of like get down so he's on eye level with Ellie when she comes to the door. Can you please let us in? I would like to talk to you about something.
Hello.
Well, hello again, sir. I mean, this is the first time we've met.
Oh yeah, first time.
And Horace just kind of laughs to himself and lets out a very deep breath that he seems to have been holding in. All right, Ellie, can we please come inside? And she just opens up the door. Oh, can I get you guys anything? Water or maybe some tea? We have some mint we could put in some water.
Oh, that is very nice, but I think we're good for now. I think we just want to talk.
Oh, about what?
And she kind of like perches herself up, and Horace is like, Ellie, do you have a gift from Old Man? And she just kind of like looks off to the side a little bit.
No.
Ellie, please, come on. And then one of her siblings, you're no good at lying anyways. Like, just trying to like lord that over her during this moment. And Ellie just,
yeah, she gave me something, but she said it was mine. She said I didn't have to share. I always have to share my things.
Oh, you don't have to share. We just want to know what it is.
Promise you won't tell anyone?
Of course.
Get them to leave the house.
and she put like it's a very large communal space, and she points to her other siblings. And they just kind of like look at her and they're like, why? We know where your secret hiding spot is anyways. She just eye rolls, walks over, and you see her like move a small stone that was pressed up against the wall to reveal a small little alcove, and she pulls something out from behind it.
She gave me this.
And it's a small iron disc.
Oh, that is very nice.
I look at Horace, and Brother Tree says, light, metal, light, right there. That's it.
Oh no, the light doesn't come from this. The light, I did that.
And Horace's eyes like, did you now? That's really impressive. That's very good, Ellie. And he's just trying to like maintain calm, talking to this girl.
Well, what does it do? What does it mean?
She said it would bring me good luck. If I held on to it, that eventually, that maybe my dad would get enough money to take me to the big city. So that way I could go to Mage's College.
Oh.
And
That would be nice.
I know that he wants to send me there, but I know that we also don't really have a good way to get me down there. Not until I'm older, and not until we got enough to make sure the farm's taken care of. And Horace leans down and says, if you give me that coin, Ellie, I can make that dream come true very soon. In the next week, I can make sure everything's taken care of and we can get you to that school, okay? But I need you to give me that coin. And she lets out a kind of another sigh. I'm always giving up my things, but I know that this will be good for Dad, and this will be good for everyone else too. And then she hands Horace the coin. Horace takes it and just, "It was very kind of you, Ellie. You have a good heart." "Thank you, sir. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to start getting food ready with my siblings."
And Brother Tree's got tears, and he's like this, and then he reaches in and he pulls out all his coins, all 5 gold coins, and he says, "These are for you," and he gives them to Ellie.
"Thank you."
Carter's actually sobbing right now. Just like hands wrapped around him. Dan trying his best to console him. It is ugly.
He's like licking your tears, like just doing the little snake. He's trying to console you a little bit on this one. And that, I think, is where we will lead up going into our first break. So when we come back, we will be talking with the top crew, I guess, looking at the stream, as you guys have decided to head back and investigate the house of Durin the farmer, who had recently suffered from the haggling attacks last night. So we're going to try and keep this to between 5 to 10 minutes. So thank you all to everyone who has stuck by us so far. Just hang out for a little bit longer, and we will see you after the break. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Woo!
Bye. She's coming.
Bloop. And there. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the stream. Thank you so much to everyone who has stuck around so far, and if you're just joining us now, welcome. So, before we left for the break, Brother Tree and Carter had a very sentimental moment with a young girl and a private investigator. And now we are going to switch from that very heartfelt scene over to Virtue and Whistler, private detectives or enterers and breakers, I guess. Breaking and
cops and robbers.
Cops and robbers, minus the cops. As you guys are going to...
Mostly just robbers.
As you guys go to Durin the farmer's house. And when you get there, you see that the door is shut. There's no light on inside. But the window along the back is still broken out from when Virtue jumped through it the night before.
Mm-hmm.
And there doesn't seem to be anybody inside.
All right.
Perception check.
Okay.
Yep. Jump through that window again.
Okay.
Wait, no.
The glass is already gone.
Hey, 18.
Yeah, that's a 9 for me.
Okay. So what are you hoping to accomplish with this perception check?
Looking for a coin. Well, at least that's what Virtue's doing. Virtue's looking for a coin.
Okay.
I'm looking for the father.
All right. It seems
she's already in the house.
So, like, looking for Durin, like checking around the home, you can see that there is a little bit of dried blood from the fight that you guys got into last night, as well as some broken pieces of furniture. But there doesn't seem to be any sign of life existing in this building since last night. You go to check the hearth, and it's cold. There doesn't seem to have been any real effort to repair any of the damages that had been done. And it doesn't look like anyone's been here since last night. And the door, from the inside angle looking at it, the door was unlocked. They had just more shut it out of formality. And then Virtue, with your 9 perception, just looking for a coin, scanning around the room, you do not see any coins littered around the room at all. It looks like mostly, just from your general purview, is mostly just like standard living equipment. It doesn't look like any kind of containers were smashed. It was more like a table had been pushed off into the corner, or a light, like a candle had fallen over and cracked in half, that kind of thing.
Yep. She's just moving furniture.
Okay. So make
Checking
an
into the
investigation check.
Couch cushions.
Loose couch cushions.
Yeah, that's a little better. Let us see. 14 plus... Oh. 2, so 16.
All right.
I didn't know I was trained in that.
All right. So with with looking around upon your first inspection, you were more focused on kind of reliving that experience of last night, seeing the hag kind of like adopt that 13-year-old girl's face while looking at you, and then switching back to the hag during the fight that you had found yourselves in. And you kind of shake your head a little bit and go for a more in-depth investigation of this place rather than just sort of looking around. And you remember Ellie saying that she had hid her coin in a special place. Like her and her siblings called it her secret hiding place. And your past from when you were an orphan reminds you of the kinds of places that you would often hide different things in, where you would want to make sure that nobody would ever find them. And you look around and you can see that there are a few places that she could possibly hide something, and you had seen Ellie like remove a rock from a piece of the lowest part of the building and store her coin there. And looking around, you can't really see any of these rocks that are set in place either, like in the way that Ellie had. But you see where a table had knocked up against the wall. From the thatched roof, you can see that there is a small golden chain that came from the top, or that's hanging from the ceiling, dangling into the house.
Whistler's like trying to stuff a vase into his robe.
Whistler.
Puts it back.
She's gonna like jump and try to grab that chain.
Okay. So yeah, you managed to grab it, and looking at the way that the rocks inlaid into the wall on this are, you can see where somebody of a 13-year-old girl's size would be able to either stand with just her toes onto the side and possibly reach up into it. You being taller, managed to grab it no problem, and as you pull the chain, you can see that that there are like a few other things that come down with it. There's a gold chain that has a small little heart at the end of it that's set in kind of like a fancier metal. Nothing too fancy. Like the chain seems to be the most like the most fancy part of it. I know I've said fancy like 3 times, but it's fine. But like kind of reaching your hand up there, you end up pulling out like a very shiny rock that looks like it was cut to be a gem, but it's not crystalline like a gem is. It just seems like somebody was practicing with gem cutter's tools and decided to leave this girl a memento. And then also putting your hand up there, you pull down a small iron disc.
Aha. Check this out. She'll toss it to Whistler.
Iron coin. It's trying to imitate Horace. I can't do it. I don't have the base. I'm sorry.
That's the one. All right, well, I guess we should leave now. She just kind of like looks around the house longingly.
Yeah, and you can see that there are... It's like when you go into the home of somebody who's recently passed, you can see that there are half-done projects that are kind of just set off to the side that you know that the person who started this project will never be able to finish. And then you also see other things off to the side that kind of remind you of what it was like to grow up. Not necessarily growing up in the orphanage, but you can see that there's like a small owl bear doll that's tucked up against the side of the hut, or the small house. There's a small couch that looks like it has the defined ass print of a larger gentleman, which you would recognize as Durin, and then also an indentation where a much smaller Tookus would have seated itself over a period of time. And looking around, this definitely feels like a home that has whose hearth has gone out. Like the life that was once there just won't really fill that space.
Virtue's gonna take that gold chain that she found and just kind of like place it on the owlbear doll. And then she's gonna leap through the window.
Okay.
Okay.
What about you, Whistler? Are you also hopping out, or are you taking the gold chain?
No. Whoa! No, he hops out, and on the other side of the window, like as Virtue's like dusting herself off, she'll feel like a small clawed hand slip into hers.
Oh.
Virtue kind of tenses for a second, and just kind of like grip that hand reassuringly.
We're all orphans.
So yeah, you guys have finished investigating. You now have the iron token from Adelaide, the young girl who lived in Durin's home, and you also have the iron coin from Ellie, the young little magical girl who has been promised a ride to the big city in exchange for her coin. And Horace looks at you, Carter, and you, Brother Tree, and he says, all right. I think we should probably meet up with your friends. We got this.
Okay.
Yes, I think we should.
It's all right. It's gonna be okay, Carter. We're not gonna let this happen.
It's just so sad.
And it's gonna be even sadder if we don't do anything about it. So come on, let's go. And he leads you guys out of the house as you see Ellie, Kess, and Kurt now kind of working together to start making a small dinner plate. And as you guys exit the building, Horace is kind of just talking to the two of you as you're going, and he just seems to kind of just be holding on to this coin. All right. I'm going to need to ask some favors. And I know I've already asked quite a few of the two of you, the four of you, your two friends who are currently not here included. But I'm going to need to ask you a few more favors.
Okay.
There is the village or the city down south. It's called Ardenthal. It's a very large magic city. Magic is held in the highest regard. They have the absolute best schools that they can offer. I said I would get Ellie down there. Can I trust the four of you to help make sure she gets there safe?
Oh, do you not want us to help you talk to O'Neill?
That's where my other favor comes in. Because before we take Ellie, we got to make sure this kind of thing never happens again. Got to make sure this same thing doesn't happen to Ellie.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, in order for this to work, I won't be able to join you with confronting this old hag. Because if we go, if all of us go, and we all die, God's forbid, then it just looks like 5 people from out of town teamed up to try and kill an old stranger. And isn't it thankful that the animals of the forest helped her? No. I need you all to go. Take care of her. I need to stay in town and let everybody else know what I found, so that way, even if you do fall, they all know the truth.
Oh. Okay. But I think we still want to talk to her.
Of course. Talk all you want. Now, so your friends up there, and at that point you look up and you see Virtue and Whistler holding hands walking down the street solemnly. It's you guys find anything? Horse kind of like runs up a little bit quicker to the two of you.
Whistler lets go of Virtue's hand and takes up this iron coin and flicks it.
He goes to catch it. And he kind of like fumbles with it in his hands a little bit and then proceeds to snatch it just kind of like this in his hands. And he looks into it and just gets this downcast face. That's what I thought. Thank you. Now, just from what we've gathered, we know that Old Nan's been giving people these coins. And we know that the people who turn into haglings all had these coins. I already talked this over with Brother Tree and Carter. But I need to let the rest of the town know what's going on near the lake. And I need you guys to go and confront this Old Nan about it. Does that sound like something we all can do?
So I hear there's gonna be a witch burning.
He laughs at that point. Just not really thinking, or I guess like the situation has been so dire that the idea of you mentioning a witch burning weirdly lifts his spirits up, but in a way that's kind of what he's wanted to do for a while.
It's like a grim optimism sort of thing.
Yeah, very much. Well, thank you. Now, you all know where she lives, right?
Oh, in the shack by the lake.
Well, that shouldn't be too hard to find. She probably lives on the side of the lake closest to us to maintain that frail old lady persona that she has going on. Don't want to walk too far. All right. Well, thank you all. If you have anything, you said that you wanted to talk to your friends about something. Can I go and talk to the people, or do you need me to still be here for you to talk about that?
Oh no, I think you've done a lot, and yeah, I guess, where are you going to be in case things don't go bad? Oh,
Well,
okay.
If where am I gonna be if you don't come back? Well, I'm taking Ellie down to Ardenthal myself.
Okay.
Either way, that's one girl that she's not gonna get. All right.
And Virtue seems to take that to heart. Just do one thing for me. If we don't come back. See what you can do about wrestling up one hell of an angry mob. This is one situation where I think torches and pitchforks probably are warranted.
That's why
Torches and pitchforks.
Oh,
I'm gonna walk away from the group for a little bit.
okay.
Torches and pitchforks. I get it.
That's what you call a callback.
All right. So, yeah, Carter, you step away from the rest of the group as they start saying, "Yeah, call back" to the torches and pitchforks thing that Whistler had brought up yesterday.
All right, so I'm gonna take Dan off my back. Oh, hello, Rashias. And I'm gonna cast beat speech. Hey, so we're gonna have to talk to old Nan, and I don't know if she is a hag or not. But if she is, and she is using the ravens and the wolves and everything, and she doesn't really like snakes, well, I want you to be safe, you know? But if I also really want you to do something though. Can you go talk to Rattles and the other snakes in the forest, and do you think you can bring them over here? Just in case there are a lot of animals, and maybe y'all can help, or maybe y'all can just help the angry mob if things do go bad. I don't know.
And as you say that, he nods. Never led a mob before.
I'm sure it's real fun.
We could surround the house.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun. Just make sure that the other snakes are not antagonistic toward the villagers that are not old Nan. Or old Nan if she turns out to be a nice old lady and we're just going over there to talk to her. I do think she might be a hick though.
Lead the charge. And then it slides down. Dan slides down from you. I'll find Rattles. Just
Okay.
goes off.
Goodbye, Rashias. Be careful.
Goodbye.
I love you.
Goodbye, Carter. And he just waves his tail at you through the brush as he skirts off. You other three have just seen Carter go off to the side to speak with his snake, as he often does.
It's parts of tongue.
Yeah, just straight up snake speech. Before you see his snake pet slither down his side and then go off into the brushes, and Carter seems much more sentimental about this than he normally is when discussing snake things.
Okay. Do y'all want to go talk to Old Nan now, or do we need to do anything else?
Better now than later, I guess.
Okay.
Whistler gives a thumbs up.
All right. So yeah, you guys heading out towards the hag.
To the Hague.
To the Hague.
There we go.
Yeah, so you guys start heading off. Make a survival check.
Oh boy!
To see if you survive.
14.
That is.
Carter, roll yours with advantage because you got a general idea of where to go from talking with animals yesterday.
I got an 8.
Okay.
12.
Not good.
Okay. So 14, 12.
But 14.
Okay. 14, 12, 8.
13. I was right there with Carter. 14.
Okay. Yeah, so the two of you managed to lead yourselves through the woods, not getting generally lost. You were told that the lake was to the east of where or I guess to the west of where the town was. And so looking at the side of the trees that the moss was growing on, you can kind of judge a cardinal direction and start heading west. Going towards the lake, and it takes you guys about 20 minutes, 25 minutes of walking, just kind of trudging through this brush, as you're not very familiar, and you kind of get you feel like you get lost off track a few times, but you manage to kind of right yourself and continue on until you can start hearing the sound of gentle waves from the lake that kind of emerges in front of you through the trees. And so you now are at this lakeside, looking directly at it, but you can't see a shack, and there aren't really much more than hunting paths and animal trails that kind of snake around.
Listener looks at the house, looks at everyone else, looks back at the house, and then brings his thumb up to his throat and makes like that sort of tearing sound with a like questioning look on his face.
Oh, well, I think we should probably just talk to her for now because she still might not be a hig. She might just be an old lady giving out small things to small children.
All right. We'll talk to her.
Make a perception check. All of you can.
Oh, hey.
15.
Perception.
22.
12.
19.
Okay. So Carter, you're so kind of still worried about Dan that you are the only one who doesn't notice that at some point during your walk, multitudes of crows had started filling the tree branches leading up as you guys continued onward. So now that you are close enough to the lake where you can see this shack, looking back, you just see that there are rows of crows that are all just perched on different tree branches, just kind of cocking their heads looking at you. And one of them just lets out just a and like flies down towards you guys, specifically you, Carter. And I would like for you to make a how would you like to dodge out of the way as this bird just comes careening towards you?
I would like to just fall to the ground screaming. Is this a dexterity?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dexterity saving throw? Or... I guess it's the same for me.
Okay.
17.
Okay, so yeah, this bird comes like just diving towards you, claws out like it's trying to rake against your face, but you just drop to the ground screaming. And as your scream pierces through the sky, that is when all of the other crows take flight in like this weird, it's almost like an explosion with with the cacophonous sound of all of these wings fluttering. And half of them come down towards the ground and swoop near your party, and the other half is just kind of swirling around behind them. And all of your guys' vision is sort of covered by just these black feathers. I would like for the three of you who aren't currently on the ground, like hands overhead shrieking, to make dexterity saves.
Oh boy, that's the one save I have.
Yeah. That's a 17 for me.
24.
Okay, how much did you get, GB?
19.
Okay, yeah, so all three of you managed to like kind of like bring your arms up and duck out of the way as these birds are just coming at you and kind of clawing at you. And you none of you actually manage to take, like, you get some scratches from these birds, but nothing in like any vital parts. Like they don't manage to get towards your ears or your eyes or your nose or any of your more sensitive bits. And your armor kind of gives you enough protection that their pecks and scrapes aren't doing anything either. But as you look up from this just flurry of crows, you see the space in front of you steadily clear away. And you can see that there is an old woman with a large stick that seems to just be shuffling towards the four of you.
Can I help you at all?
She just steadily walking forwards, leaning on this cane.
Hey, old Nan, I presume.
Yes, that's what they do call me, I suppose.
She kind of like pulls feathers out of her hair.
Ooh, I remember you. You were quite a big one at the festival, weren't you?
And she points towards you, Brother Tree.
you sat for the story, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I did. You're gonna change faces. It's gonna be scary.
Well, that's rather presumptuous. I hardly know what you mean.
You should get that looked at.
It's the 18 wisdom, 7 intelligence, you know.
Yep. Yep.
A storyteller often changes their face when telling a good story.
Oh, well, yeah, that story, is kind of what we wanted to talk to you about.
Oh. Well, if it's stories you're after, perhaps you could come inside of my small enclosure. I could possibly pour you something to drink and give you something to eat. Unless you
Seems
have
a bit
any
claustrophobic
pains,
to
do
me.
something about the dryness on your skin.
During this entire conversation, the camera is panning in Whistler's face like it's from The Office. You just stare like, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit claustrophobic. We could probably just stand out here on the lawn.
That's gonna feel self-conscious about my face.
Oh, it's all
Um,
right, friends.
In fact, I was wondering if I could ask you about this weird coin I found. And Virtue's going to prestidigitate a copy of the iron rings that she's been handing out.
Oh, you mean my tokens of good favor? Yes.
Oh, is that what that is? That's weird because we've been finding these on dead little girls.
Well, that doesn't sound like it corresponds with my coins at all. I give them to lots of people, not just little girls. Never anybody is looking for good tidings.
I want to insight check her so bad.
Yeah, go for it. If you do not believe the story this lady is telling, feel
Stop.
free.
LA Noir, doubt.
I rolled a
Wait.
7.
Okay.
Hold on. I don't know if this is a 19 or a 16. That makes a difference. It's a 16. Never mind. 19.
Okay. So with your 19, there is definitely the way that she's putting certain affectations on her words just doesn't feel right. Like you're just getting this weird vibe from what she's saying, and then the way that she said her enclosure rather than a shack
Her
or a
house.
hut, or a house,
Yeah.
kind of threw you off a little bit. Yeah, she definitely doesn't seem like she's being the most forthcoming, especially after being confronted about these tokens of good favor.
Just like uncomfortably, Whistler's gonna go back and grab Virtue's hand.
Virtue's gonna hold it in a pretty determined fashion.
Are these girls yours?
Are these what mine?
These birds,
Oh,
or are they your friends?
well, I should say that they're friends. They're awfully helpful.
Oh,
Never
They
I
don't
need
like
to find
me.
anything. Oh, they don't like you?
She gets in very close to you and just,
well, I'm sorry, I did not bathe.
No. No, it's fine. You, do you hang out with lots of snakes?
Oh, I do. They are my friends.
That would do it. They see your dry skin, they see your snake, and they think maybe you too are a snake.
Yeah, when she got close to Carter, Brother Tree just turned into stone, like he was gonna spring into action if anything, to protect Carter from her if need be.
Yeah, she doesn't seem threatening at all. Well, she seems very close, given the scenario. But like,
I don't know.
she's not like.
Have you seen some old women? They're pretty threatening.
Can I get old Nan to make a wisdom saving throw?
Okay.
Ooh. What are you doing?
As I cast suggestion with my snake eyes.
All right. What is the save?
It is a wisdom save
Okay.
of 15. 15.
Okay. She got a 14.
Ooh.
So what is the suggestion?
You're really close to me, but I think you should probably just tell us if you are a hag that is turning little girls into hags.
That's a very big suggestion.
All right. Let us see what suggestion does.
Suggestion. I suggest a course of activity limited to a and magically influence a creature I can see within range that can hear and understand me. Creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect. It must be worded in a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable. Target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it pursues the course of action you describe to the best of its ability. The suggested course of action can continue for the entire duration, which is 8 hours.
Okay.
But
I mean, that doesn't sound unreasonable to admit to your hag.
I'm not asking her to kill herself.
Or are you?
Not yet, but I can actually only do that once a day.
You see her brow furrows. I'm a hag who's been turning little girls into other hags.
Well, that's good enough for me.
That is very helpful.
She,
And I,
at that point, steps back away from you. And like just
trust
looks at you,
in me.
just looks at you like kind of adjusts
Thank you,
her,
Christy Mango.
her glasses a little bit. Why? Why would you think Why?
Well, you could say a little bird told me. But that's not entirely true. It was a little snake that told me.
Are you trying to frame me for the murder of a little girl?
Oh no, I did that.
So you killed a little girl.
Well, I killed a little hag. But yes.
And she,
My client would like to remain silent.
and she extends a hand out and points to a crow that is on a branch above you, and in perfect mimicry, in your voice, says, "Yeah, I killed the girl."
Okay.
Well,
That
as far as the town's concerned, looks like old Nan solved the case.
Oh, but they already knew that. Lauren already knew that.
I don't know if I like you all being in my woods.
Oh, okay.
I'd prefer it if you all left now.
And I would prefer it if you'd stop turning little girls into hags.
What is with your assailing questions? First, you magically influence me to say this thing. Next thing, you just keep accusing me.
Carter, you told her to
I told her to say it if
she was
to
doing
say
it,
so
right?
if she was killing turning
Right.
girls, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
balls.
and it totally worked, right?
There was an if.
and it totally. Hold on. I point to my raven.
In perfect mimicry. I'm a hag and I'm turning little girls into other hags. And then also mocking, why? Why?
just going to point out, she did say, "Oh, balls" in character. For your guys' current timeline.
Now, so far as I see it, there's a few ways that this could go. Virtue says, kind of just toying with the rapier at her side.
Meanwhile, I'm going to like reach down into empty space and take out my special sword. It is a scimitar. It has a picture of black snake eating white ball. I don't know what it means.
We'll discuss that later. I see this ending in a couple of different ways. History is written by the winners, so to speak. But maybe we can make some sort of deal.
A deal, you say? If there's one thing I
Blackmail,
like,
I love
child,
this game.
is I love making deals.
Oh no.
Oh,
What did you have in mind?
And she just kind of looks at you intently.
If you think that I'm a hag, what kind of deal would you make? Hypothetically.
Well, can you stop turning girls into little hags and getting them to kill people?
yeah, that's the first thing.
What's the second thing?
Oh,
Second thing is no more of this leading people with ravens to wolves, because yeah, we know about that too.
oh yes,
Wait, I'm
that's something
sorry,
that one
what?
of your some
Have
of your
you-
birds lead
Oh, you don't know
children
about that?
to
Oh, you
wolves.
don't know about that? You've got some naughty birds, girl.
She looks up at one of the ravens.
Hey, we said that we wouldn't do that anymore.
The raven just
It's a living.
Wait,
It's a living. That's fucked up, yo.
We can talk about this later. Yes, I can guarantee the second thing to the best of my ability.
And like Virtue kind of like looks around to the rest of her group as subtly as possible to try and make it look like she's trying to make it look like she actually planned this, but she's flying by the seat of her pants.
Well, but like you're still turning little girls, and that's the thing that we really want to stop.
You turn yourself in to the town and tell them the truth and face justice.
Hello.
I have a counter proposition.
Okay.
I will do this on one condition. You there, one with the horns, you seem... How old are you?
Whistler like walks in front of Virtue and just like wing like claws splayed out like, no! What are you doing?
28.
Hmm.
Hold on, let me roll that. Oh, that's not good. Well, hold on, I've got good deception. Oh no, that's an 8.
okay. She is going to roll an insight.
Very clearly wrong.
Yeah, she beats your deception.
How old are you really?
It is not polite to ask women about their age.
Quiet, boy. The women are talking.
Oh jeez. She's gonna try for lower. 22. Ha! Natural 20.
Yep.
Shot or fire?
22.
Mhm.
How about this? 22. You join me. Leave your friends. You become my sister. We'll leave this town. We won't turn any more of these young girls into hags. you come with me. I've been looking for a traveling companion that isn't one of these bird brains.
And she points up towards one of the crows and just.
I take personal offense to that.
I'm offended for you.
Join me, become my sister. Sure, the blood of some kind of creature or other runs inside of you.
Virtue's kind of like, she looks like she's actually considering it.
No, there is a very child tantrum coming from like Whistler as he grabs her hand and pulls her back.
Brother Tree just says, torches and pitchforks.
See, there's a problem with that lady. Trying to be a good person here.
Well, I'm afraid I just can't have that.
And when we come back from break, initiative.
Screaming. Panic screaming.
All right, so we will try and come back in 5 to 10 minutes. Thank you all for sticking with us so far. Come back after the break to find out how the turning season comes to its climactic finish. I'm sure you're all dying to know. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everybody. Oh man, that's okay. That's okay.
That is not fine.
No,
but that is
no.
okay.
I hadn't turned your audio back on when it fell, so it was just me laughing at silence.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. So, hello everybody who stuck with us through all of this. Thank you so much. And now, my dear players, roll for initiative.
Never. Oh hey, nice.
oh.
All right. That's a 13 for initiative for me.
That's a 17 for Whistler.
There's also a 17 for Carter.
Ooh.
Weren't you guys
Next
on the
fight.
same initiative last time?
Maybe?
Maybe.
I remember Carter sharing initiative with somebody.
Uh,
That's all right.
Maybe with Brother Tree.
Speaking of Brother Tree, what's yours?
You know, I'm +3 to initiative, being a monk and all. But that one just kicks my butt.
Oh no, buddy.
4, man. Oh.
Alright.
still waiting on the pitchforks.
Yeah.
Alright. So, first off is top of the round with Whistler and Carter.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Too bad ain't surprised, but I'm gonna whip out my crossbow, jump back and fire.
Okay.
Okay, that is...
Oh, there it is.
Meh. Oh, hey, not bad. 15, 16, 17. 19?
19 hits. Roll
Yes.
for damage.
Do I get sneak attack because I have allies on her, or is she just far enough away that
she
it's not?
she had walked back away from you guys in order to make the deal, as she no longer felt comfortable after Carter had cast magic at eye level.
She is no longer within snake range. Got it.
No.
6 damage.
Okay. Respectable. Alrighty. So, do you have a bonus action?
Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna use my bonus action to... What's the range of my crossbow? I'm sorry. Can I disengage into some cover, basically?
You can dash to some cover. She's not... Like, she wasn't within 5 feet of you guys, so you wouldn't have to disengage from anything, because there's nothing directly on
So
you.
could I use instead my movement to, like, the 30-foot movement I do have to find someplace to hide?
Yep.
Then use my bonus action to hide?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Cool.
Meanwhile, I want to use my Hexblade's Curse on her.
Okay.
And then attack her with my scimitar.
Alright, sounds good. And what was the...
22 to hide.
Sounds good. Yeah, she is not following that at all. Okay, and then you're to hit with your scimitar.
14?
Nope. The 14. So when the crossbow bolt hit, what was otherwise just kind of like this kind of gentle old granny, she was larger. But as the arrow hit, you see her form swell up, and the skin on her face gets really tight, and you can see her teeth just kind of rotted, like just stretching through her lips. And you can see that there are these weird pieces of tree kind of growing out of her back, as she has one large club arm and then a smaller arm that's still holding onto her staff. And she looks... Oh,
Like a stat block. Oh, oh no.
Ooh. Ooh.
so that is
No
what
me
she looks
gusta.
like. So yeah, as you went to swing against her with your scimitar, she just kind of like brings up an arm and has it just glance off the side of it, like it didn't even go through that arm at all.
Oh, thank God.
But I am within 5 feet of her.
Yeah, you are now within 5 feet. All right, so next up is Virtue.
Alrighty. Virtue is going to draw her rapier and charge at the hag.
Okay.
She's gonna try and do a booming blade if she can. See if it hits. That is 15.
15 does not hit.
Cool.
Yeah, so you swing out with your rapier, but she is a lot more nimble than you initially gave this this large-sized creature. As when you go to stab at her, she just kind of moves her arm out of the way right as you're about to hit it, so it just barely misses.
All right, and if I have some movement left, I'm going to skitter away from her. And because of fancy footwork, if I make a melee attack against the creature, I can get away without an opportunity attack for the rest of my turn.
Yeah. So it was about 20 feet going up to where she was from where you were. So you still have about 10 feet of movement.
All right, I'll move about 10 feet away from her, just kind of off to the side relative to my buddies.
All right, sounds good. Next up, the one we've all been waiting for. Brother Tree, everybody! Brother Tree is next in initiative. Even with his nat 1, he still beat the hag.
End of the first round is just first and the second.
Okay. All right. So, Brother Tree, like I said, he had turned into just stone. Like, you wouldn't know he was part of the forest if he was just standing there, because he was so, focused on just, clearing his mind, trying to protect his friends. So all of a sudden, just from nowhere, it's like, in this huge ashen staff comes just,
I didn't even see that.
Wings.
A+ prophecy.
Thank you. Wings out at her, and then I'm gonna spend a key point, and it not only does the ashen stick come out like this, then an elbow comes across, and a huge foot kicks at her.
All right.
Let's hit. All right. 3d20s. All right. Green is the staff. Oh, garbage, and a hit. Plus 5. 11, 7, and 22.
22 definitely hits.
All right, and that was a flurry of blows. The foot, I guess, she somehow manages to dodge his first attacks, but then his big old foot slams into her, and she needs to make a DC 14 dexterity save or be knocked. Oh, nice.
So
he sweeps the leg.
So you go to strike out with your quarterstaff, and she brings her head up just underneath where you were going to do it. And with your 7.5-foot frame, you're roughly around the same size that she is standing. So you go to bring your elbow up, and that's when, again, she kind of stands up even straighter, and you recognize that her footing is a little bit more uneven than she was anticipating. So you go to fake with a open side of your palm, and then bring your foot up and just square in the center of her chest, just knock her directly onto her back.
Nice. All right. And that would be 5 damage.
Okay. All right. So she is going to stand up using half of her movement. And then she is going to attempt to wrap her arms around you, Brother Tree.
Okay.
As she looks at you.
You seem like a man of relative good cuddling size. Here, come over to old Nan.
And she just brings her arms, she tries to bring her arms around you. But you are much more dexterous than she gave you credit for. And you dodge out of the way as she goes to try and wrap you up in a hug. And that is all that she can do for her movement. So next up is Wings not Wings. that's a real people name. Whistler, who also has wings, and Carter.
Ooh, so very much like in sniping position, Whistler pops out, poop, and then pops back behind the tree. So natural 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna suck. So
Sneak attack.
sneak attack dice double or
Yeah. No, roll twice as many dice.
I'm gonna need more square boys. Okay, so. Wow. Okay, thanks for that. I rolled a 3 with my normal, but all those dice, 2, 4, 6. That turns it into a 13.
Dang. That was a good hit.
It could have been more.
Still strong though. Next up,
Yeah.
Carter.
Okay. Is the hag currently engaged with Brother Tree? As in, could I like step back without getting an attack of opportunity?
She is currently she is engaged with Brother Tree, but you would still provoke an attack of opportunity as you've gotten too close to her, and she feels your odd magic wash over her. She knows she's familiar with curses.
Oh, also DM, that's a 13 to hide.
Okay.
Awesome. Where I'm gonna step back anyway.
Okay. Yeah, she will try and strike out against you. With her gnarled claw. Does a 14 hit you?
14 does hit me.
Okay. So she is going to deal 13 points of damage from her claw as she just brings it up against your chest, and it kind of goes in the same wound pattern that the haggling had done. Like this seems like one for one, almost the same stroke.
So like as I back up, it's gonna like reveal some of my scales on my back. Ooh, it's nasty. But I want to turn around and cast a witch bolt, which will not hit
Okay.
because it was a 12.
Yeah. 12 unfortunately does not find purchase. All right. Next up is going to be Virtue.
Alrighty. Second verse, same as the first. Let's go in with another booming blade. Ah! Ah! Ooh, let's try a different one. Alright, that is much better than before. How's a 23 treat ya?
Whew, yeah, that hits.
Alright, booming blade. So here comes the rapier damage, and booming blade damage does not happen until later. Alright, so until the end of my next turn, if willingly, she's going to take more damage, so keep an eye out for that. As for the rapier damage, ooh, max. That's going to be 12.
Okay.
12 damage. Jab. Jab, jab, jab.
Sounds good.
And then she'll dance back again.
All right. So, yeah, you dance away, and then next up is Brother Tree.
All right. No point in dying with key points left, so I'm gonna do it again. You know, giant quarterstaff, and then flurry of blows. So fancy footwork, maybe a headbutt in there.
Okay.
All right. Better. Okay, I got an 11, a 15, and a 24.
The 24 hits, but like last time, your first two strikes, she just seems to be dodging out of the way.
All right.
And I'd like all of you to make perception checks as well.
11.
13.
21.
16.
All right. Yeah. So while you have been fighting, you've all noticed that
Damn it.
your standard slew of attacks don't seem to be doing as much damage as you would expect them to do, or like they did against the haggling last night.
All right. I'm going to since I did the flurry of blows and I'm open hand monk, I guess I will choose the knocking her down again.
And what was the DC on that?
14.
She manages to maintain her footing this time. Just
Alright.
barely so. Like, each time that you've hit her with this, she seems to be almost caught off guard, but
Okay.
maintains her footing.
4 points of damage.
Okay. Sounds good. Next up is the old lady. And she is going to attempt to strike out against Brother Tree. Again, this time just trying to grab you into a bear hug. Does a 21 hit?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Oof.
Noisy.
That's a lot of math
I was
going
gonna say,
on.
You take 23 points of bludgeoning damage
Oof.
Oh, jeez.
as she grabs hold of you and just squeezes tight. And you kind of feel like ribs in your back are getting dislocated from how tight she's squeezing up against you. And she just whispers into your ear, "Come on and give old Nan a hug." And then you are now grappled.
all right.
All right. But that is all the hag can currently do. So next up is Whistler and Carter once again.
So the stipulations of a grapple versus like range. Do I have a chance to hit Brother Tree, or is it like?
If you mess up,
Don't want to mess up, so I'm gonna hold my action for Brother Tree to break out before I fire.
okay.
Meanwhile, I want to use a witch bolt for my last spell slot. It was 12.
12 does not hit against Old Man.
Okay. No more spells. That is fine.
Okay. So yeah, that is the two of yours turn. Next up is going to be Virtue.
All right. Virtue looks really concerned about Brother Tree. She's going to point her left hand at them and say, "Let go of him!" And she's going to cast a Ray of Frost.
Okay.
Oof. Flies wide. I rolled a 4 on the die. I'm pretty sure that's not going to hit.
No.
So, Ray of Frost hits Tree behind them.
Okay.
And Virtue just continues to look concerned about this.
All right. So, next up is Brother Tree. You are currently grappled with Old Man.
All right. Let's get the heck out of that situation. I will use acrobatics to try to slip away. If it's regular grappling
Yep,
rules. And it's...
regular grappling.
Okay. Come on, dice. Don't fail me now. Oh my god. Okay. That being 8.
All right. 8 does not actually get through that.
Okay.
So, oof.
And is is escaping a grapple just an action?
Yeah.
Or can you do other things?
No,
like
trying to
if I had a
escape the
bonus action?
trying to escape the grapple is your action for the turn.
Alrighty.
All right. So then she is going to lift you up and kind of drop your lower half in an attempt to further crush you.
All right.
And because you are already grappled, she does not need to roll to hit on her crushing hug.
Oh.
Okay.
For 17 points of damage.
Save the girl.
No!
Brother Tree's down.
Ah!
All right. And as he says that, she just kind of tosses his body down onto the ground and looks at you, Virtue. You already know a way you can save the girl, as well as save many girls. And next up, it is going to be Whistler and Carter's turn, as you have just
I'm gonna put a bolt in her head. That's how we're saving these girls.
Oh, would her shoving aside his body count as him moving out of the way for?
Yeah, he is no
Whistler's
longer-
held
No
action.
longer grappled, yeah.
Yeah, he's no
Well,
longer
for
grappled.
the held action.
Oh, yeah, no, the held action would fire off. You are
Oh,
correct.
sick. No, Dice! Why would you go behind the TV? I need to see.
Oh no!
Dramatic effect, that's why.
I know. This is...
20. Again.
All right. So, the 20 hits.
Okay.
And
that's-
you were successfully stealthed from previously.
Hey, I not suck ass damage. Cool. Oh, fuck. That's a little suck ass though. 6, 12. That's another 12. And 30 damage.
Hot shit. Okay.
I rolled 2 6s on my sneak attack, a 3, a 5, and a 7, and then plus my 3 dex. That's right. 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. No, I'm bad at math. 24.
Yeah.
There we go. That's right.
No, and so, like you said, you fire off your crossbow, and you see it just sink directly into her eye, and she brings up a hand and just clutches at it as you see this kind of, like, gross bile dripping from that eye hole. Damn it! I was going to be one of my good ones! And now she just, like, moves her hand away, and you can just see bolts sticking out of her skull with just black goop kind of just pouring out the side.
In like a mimicry of a cacophony of crows kind of repeating the same word over and over again, he's just like, murder, murder.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Carter.
He does that sometimes.
All right.
I'm an assassin.
So, seeing Brother Tree fall, okay, I only get one beam. Cool. I want to, just run back up at her with my scimitar.
Okay.
Panicked screaming.
Before you do,
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I want you to roll a perception check.
Okay, let me set these aside because these weren't shit. One of these was. Okay, 19.
All right. So as you continue running up, you can hear the sound of hundreds of tiny bodies slithering across the ground.
Yes! Yes,
And
make
you-
friends.
And
Save us.
and you can speak Snake, right? Like it's kind of one of your languages, or you can understand them.
I have the beast speech ultra invocation, but I like to think I speak parcel tongue.
I like to think you do as well. And as you run up, you can see other snakes running alongside you. And you actually hear Rattles say, "How many times do we have to do this, old man?" As it just continues snaking on up.
Damn it.
Next to you. So now you have a small snake swarm that is going to be joining you in the initiative round.
Okay. So awesome. So for this scimitar attack, I rolled a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
For I rolled a 1 plus 5 plus 2, which is a number. I think it's 8.
So 8.
Which is magical because
Yep.
this is my packed hex weapon.
Sounds
The
good.
snakes go marching one by one, hurrah.
All right. Believe swarm of bats, swarm of kippers, swarm of rats, swarm of ravens, a swarm of poisonous snakes. So next up after Carter is going to be Virtue.
All right. So, just getting a quick idea of what the battlefield looks like. Brother Tree is down.
Yes.
How bad does Nan look?
She looks pretty hurt. Like, she has a bolt sticking out of her eye from where Whistler shot her. She just looks like, even though she hasn't been taking as much damage from other people, Carter's last strike actually opened up a pretty gnarly wound on her. Where other blades, like when your rapier poked in, it wasn't able to do, didn't sink in as much as you thought it would, but it looks like Carter's scimitar is just carved through this, no problem.
Cool. All right. Trying to decide something. All right. It seems that the tide of the battle has turned. So.
Make a perception check as well.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
Look to me on the third day with the coming of the light.
Not very good, actually. Just a 4.
All right. Yeah, you don't really notice much of anything else, where Carter seems to have new vigor about him as he rushed forward.
All right. Has Brother Tree made any death saving throws yet?
Nope.
That just happened this round. Okay. All right. Just getting a good idea of what's going on here. I'm gonna go ahead and try a Ray of Frost again.
Okay.
All right. That is a 15. I don't think that hits.
15 does not hit.
All right. Virtue's gonna run up and kind of check on Tree.
Okay. All right. So, next up in the initiative round is the swarm of poisonous snakes. And they are going to snake their way towards Old Man. And you just see, like, there's about, like, 15 of these snakes that are all just biting at her heels. As she starts looking down, just, like, starts, like, trying to stomp them as they go and nip at her heels.
Snakes? Why'd it have to be snakes?
And the snakes...
No, don't hurt my friend.
The snakes will actually hit against her.
Oh.
And so they are going to deal 9 points reduced to 4 piercing damage. And then she has to make a Constitution saving throw, or else she will be poisoned, as she does not have resistance to poison. She doesn't have resistance to poison damage. She fails.
Yeah. Oh.
Really badly.
Snake's MVP.
Mm-hmm.
SVP.
Snake VPs.
Most valuable reptiles.
Oh my god. They deal 18 points of poison damage.
Oh my god.
Damn!
Holy carp snakes.
Yeah.
I guess the town is just gonna pay the snakes the
On
reward money.
4d6, it rolled a 6, a 6, a 5, and a 1.
Holy shit.
That was good poison. So next up, Brother Tree. Like for you to make a death save.
All right. Ooh. We get no bonuses, right? They're just straight up rolls.
Just straight rolls.
Yeah.
7. First failure.
No.
Brother Tree.
I know, man.
All right. So next up,
We don't have a healer. We don't have a healer at all.
We
I
don't.
can heal after battles, but
I
I'm
have
down.
the one health potion.
next up, Old Nan. And so Carter, as you have actually like pierced her skin, and she looks at you with just this one bolt sticking out of her eye.
My snake eyes staring right back.
Oh, never knew a trustworthy snake in my whole life.
Ew. And she is going to use her claw and get 24 to hit you.
Uh-huh.
Okay. For 14 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
How you looking, Carter? Oof. Oof, indeed.
We are the squishiest of parties. How did we make it this far?
Social counters.
And with these snakes biting her heels, she is going to make another claw rake at the snakes below, and gets a nat 1, trying to claw out of the snakes. And then she reaches down and grabs about 3 of them, and brings them up to her mouth and just tears their heads off and just throws them down to the ground.
Okay,
As
Ozzy
she
Osbourne.
deals...
Not my son, you bitch.
She deals 13 points of piercing damage to the group of snakes.
Oh.
All right, but that is Old Nan's turn. So next up is Whistler and Carter.
Contingency plan 7. I'm going to use my bonus action to dash to Brother Tree. Move action, pull out the one healing potion I have and uncork it and just like shove it into his mouth
Okay.
as an action.
Sounds good. So it's 2d4 plus 2?
2d4 plus 2, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to have you roll that because it was your potion.
Okay. Plus 2, so that's 4 hit points.
All right, Brother Tree, you are
Better than
back.
0.
Your eyes open up. You're just surrounded by snakes writhing on the ground. And you can see one of the ones that she had bitten the head off is resting on your chest. But Whistler is just, contingency plan 7, and threw a potion
Contingency
in
plan 7!
He just keeps yelling it over and over, just getting you to drink this potion.
All right.
But you are back at 4.
I grab Brother Tree by the scruff of the collar. I go, run!
A 15 won't hit, will it?
No, a 15 does not.
Alright, so I'm swinging wide with my rapier now that my life isn't on the line, or so I think.
Okay. Next up is going to be Virtue. And you have seen that Brother Tree has jolted back to consciousness thanks to your dear friend Whistler.
All right, I'm gonna pat him, kind of like dismissively, and be like, "Yeah, get out of here," and draw the rapier and run right back at her.
Right, sounds good. And what did Booming Blade do? Because I remember you said that it didn't come into effect that first time.
Right. It's out of effect right now, but I am coming back with another booming blade, so
Okay.
you shall
Glad
find
I
out. It is a 17.
17 just hits.
Oh, all right. And yeah, I am doing a booming blade and also moving away
Okay.
as a swashbuckler do. But booming blade will pile on extra damage if she moves willingly.
Okay.
But she hasn't done that yet.
No,
So
she has just been
here
standing still.
comes rapier damage. 10 total piercing.
Okay. Sounds good. She is looking rightly messed up. But she still stands.
Give her a good jab. Yeah,
Good jib.
good jab.
All right, so next up is the crew of snakes who showed up in your finest hour. And they are going to bite
My
out.
friend.
I just had this page, and then I moved away from it, and it all went away. There it is. All right. So, Snake Swarm does not actually manage to pierce through this time. It seems like the ones that had really been like at the forefront of doing all of the bites were the ones that also got removed from the battle. So that is all the snakes can do, which means next up it is Brother Tree's turn.
All right. Half movement to stand, interaction to grab the old ash branch. Just bad lady, bad.
Okay.
This is the opposite of what I said.
All right. Like I said, don't want to die with key points left, so all misses. Everything's a miss. I'll spend my last key point to I forget what it's called. The patient defense. I take the dodge action.
Okay.
Nice.
So next up is Old Nan. And so she is going to strike out at the remainder. Did you have your hand raised?
No, I was just waving.
Oh, okay.
Because I figured she'd kill me this round.
She is going to strike out against you, Carter. Dear friend, I am so sorry.
No!
That is a natural 20.
Oh, no!
Okay, how much?
So that is going to be a number. Let's find out
Come
together,
on,
shall
66. Oh, wait, no. Fuck, 35.
For 23 points of slashing damage.
23.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a good thing when you go down, you don't go negative. Right?
Yeah, so she just bats you out of the way, and you just kind of like spin off to the side and fall on the ground, and you can see one of the snakes come up and just start booping you on the face. And then she is going to swing down and pick up the remainder of the snake swarm that had come in and just rips them in half and just lets the blood wash over her face. And that is all that she can currently do this turn. But she is just cackling away, finding this whole snake killing day an amusing thing. As that is exactly what her ravens would be pleased about, and you can actually hear caws in the forest of bird-like glee. So next up is going to be Whistler and Carter. Carter, I'm going to need you to make a death saving throw. Which number?
6.
Okay.
Not a 1.
That's what I was checking. All right, so you have one failed death. Next up, Whistler.
Whistler looks over at Virtue, then looks over to Brother Tree. Disengage action, runs back. And like he GTFOs back into like the hidey spot in the woods.
Okay. And that was your bonus action?
Bonus action,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna try and give suppressing fire.
Come on, man.
Okay. 14, 15, 16, 17?
17 just hits. Roll for damage.
Jesus Christ.
And you have allies within 5 feet. So roll with the sneak attack.
That's not bad. It's 7 damage.
Okay. Yeah, that is not looking like it is. It is that shot was the most effective. But next up is Virtue.
All right, Booming Blade. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Oh, not good. Never mind. That's 3.
Okay.
Okay. Shoot. I'm looking at my bag of tricks here.
Silly Virtue. Tricks are for kids.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, we are kids. Never mind.
I don't think this. No. Brother Tree is still up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He just popped back.
So like Virtue sounds like more desperate than she ever has, and she's just like, Brother Tree, run!
Can't save girls.
Oh.
All right, that's the end of my turn.
Did you attack?
I missed.
Oh, okay.
I know I missed.
All
I
right.
rolled a 3 on the die.
Yeah, that'll do it. It is time for Dan, the one snack, and he is going to try really hard to bite this lady. She has been very mean. He hits. What a good one. So she takes 1 piercing damage, and then passes the con check. So she is going to be taking half of this poison damage.
100, so that's 50.
So, Dan gets the how do you want to do this?
Only.
She's looking rightly screwed up. As she has taken 7 total damage from our little blep.
The blep.
Blip. It's so sad because he's gonna die next time.
Brother Tree.
Not if Brother Tree has anything to say about it.
Okay, so out of key. Look, I've got my lucky chicken bone here.
Bless the
so-
chicken.
Yes, it is a brass dipped chicken bone. I'm out of key. I can make 2 attacks, but my damage is going to be nada because she's going to resist it. But I'm a healer, so if I use my healing kit to stabilize someone, they get 1 hit point. So I'm going to use my action to save Carter in the hopes that Carter can leap up and magic her, get us a kill. So lucky
So
chicken
meta.
bone.
I've got 1 hit in this round. Or this is combat.
I'm just saying.
It just means you're due.
You gotta have the lucky chicken bone, man. So that's what I'll do.
Okay.
And that's an action. I don't have an attack bonus action or anything, so that's what I do.
Okay. All right, Carter. You're at the ones.
Everybody gets 1.
As Brother Tree just kind of like taps you on the side of the face gently, applying some of the salves that he picked up.
Friends?
Get her. Save the girls.
Next up, old man.
Oh, fuck.
An old man is going to look at you, Brother Tree.
Okay.
Well, I didn't like that one bit. Why don't you come in close for a nice hug?
She goes to try and hug you again. She got a 21 to hit.
It hits.
All right. I don't believe there's any way for you to take for you to survive 14, correct?
Yeah, I got 4 hit points.
Yeah. So won't even bother rolling that. Yeah, you she just picks you up and then you hear a cracking noise as she squeezes again really tightly. And then again just tosses Brother Tree's body onto the ground. So next up is Whistler and Carter.
Ah, fuck, my hex went away.
Oh yeah, you went down.
I went down. That's fine.
I'm gonna cast the only spell I know, Crossbow Bolt.
That's a good spell.
That's a good spell.
22.
22 hits.
Cool. And Carter's next to her, right?
Yes.
Oh, boy. 12?
All right.
15. Ugh.
So 15. All right. Carter.
Okay. So I have my scimitar in my hand. I see. I am on ground. I see. Her dropping Brother Tree's body. I would like to cast Eldritch Blast from my down position. Is that disadvantage or?
Because you're within 5 feet, it would be disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah, because she's right next to you.
Okay. I will get up and hit her with sword, even though it is no longer hits. 18 hits.
Yep.
For 6 plus 5 points of slashing damage.
11.
Old man's saying bye. How do you want to do this?
Okay. So as she slumps down, or throws Brother Tree over, and I'd like to think that I see her reaching down for RJustice. I would like to just grab my sword and no, and just go up and just stab her through. My shirt's probably all torn to pieces, so it's just a half naked dude with black scales down, his eyes maybe glowing just a little bit, and just
And
that's it.
she, as the scimitar goes through the bottom, the soft bit underneath her jaw and up through the side of her face, she's still cackling until after a while she just locks eyes at you, still laughing, and then
I spit on her.
you spit on her.
I spit on her. I use my poison spray cantrip as a racial ability, and I spit poison on her.
Yeah, so as you pull your blade out, just and you watch as this poison seeps into her face, and with just this bubbling, gnarled sound of what sounds like cackling still trying to escape, you watch as this large body just falls to the ground, no longer moving. And you feel Dan slide up along your shoulder, come up next to you, and just blep you on the side of the cheek.
I pass out.
Okay. All right, so Virtue and Whistler. Brother Tree is currently still passed out on the ground. I believe it is Virtue's turn next in the initiative order if you would like to rush over and help Brother Tree.
Yeah, that's precisely what happened. She runs over to do something. She's gonna dig through his salves to see if there's anything that she can do to help him.
I was just gonna say his healer's kit is laying there.
All right.
All right.
Oh,
what is a
Out
healer's
in the
kit?
open.
Yeah, what does a healer's kit do for you?
Automatic stabilizes.
Oh, well, I do that.
yeah. So you you quickly apply this medicine kit to Brother Tree, who several adventures ago had pointed out, like, if I fall, this one. And, like, you have that, like, very clear memory, like, I never thought it would come in handy, but oh, thank the gods. And so you manage to stabilize Brother Tree, and you look over and you see that Carter is just kind of like foaming at the mouth, but like, you know that this is more of like, he gets very overly stressed sometimes, and this is just sort of like he's had a rough day, and looking at the way that his clothes have just been ripped and torn to shreds, and thinking about all of the emotional strain that you guys have been under these last 2 days, you can finally feel that start to alleviate as you look around, and the crows that had gathered to watch you fight all just begin to fly away from the branches around the trees that you guys had been on, until eventually it is just the 4 of you sitting in this field, or not in this field, but in this wooded part, just next to the body of Old Nan, who the body looks like it is quickly decaying, versus just the standard humanoid decomposition. She's already in that very gaunt, grotesque face of the dying, but you still see that crossbow bolt that had dropped, or that had taken out one of her eyes, still moving, and her body has not moved since Carter did his deed.
Whistler has disappeared from his spot, and he's like sneaking towards Old Nan's house.
Virtue is like lecturing Brother Tree. Like, she's really mad at him, but like you can see that there's like tears brimming in her eyes.
All right.
And then she just punctuates all of that with a big hug.
Oh, ribs hurt. Hug nice.
Yeah, well, you deserve it.
Okay, nice.
And so, yeah, you are healing up Brother Tree, making sure Carter is still alive under this general circumstance. It's a pretty good thing to check up on.
She pokes him every now and then.
And Whistler, you approach Old Nan's shack, and you poke your head behind a tree, and you can just see that it looks like a small fishing shack that had just sort of been built right next to the lake. And I'm assuming you're going up to investigate this house?
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, you go over, and as you get close to the building itself, you see the house just start to shake. And then you see what looks like a crow flying off of it, and then another crow, and then another crow, until eventually this house just disintegrates into crows that all fly off into the woods.
Well,
And you can see several of the house furnishings still there, but the building itself is gone.
contingency 14. Take everything that isn't nailed down.
All right. And so,
for
yeah.
once, Virtue is distracted, so you get away with it.
Yay!
All right, so yeah, you go over and you end up finding a decent number of things, but the one thing that stands out the most to you is that there is a book, and looking through it, it seems like it's a very thick and heavy tome, but it is just filled with conversations that people have had. And looking at the names of the people on the actual tome, it looks like these are the conversations of the people within the town. But one of the passages strikes you as very peculiar, as this looks like it is a very private conversation being held between what is written as D, and then under it is initialed as A. And A seems to be telling D that they didn't want to come to this town, that why couldn't they have just pressed on through the night until the next town that they went to. And the response says, don't worry, Adelaide. I'm sure the people here are nice. And you can tell that this journal seems like it's reflecting conversations that happened within this town about 3 years ago.
He puts it in like a little satchel.
Okay.
For later.
And then you end up collecting just several odds and ends. Like you find like a fancy metal kitchen plate that you tuck in your bag, and you go through and properly loot this place of basically everything that isn't tied down. And you make your way back to the group, and you can see that everyone is just still kind of sitting and taking in the fact that you all survived. This battle seemed very much like it was a bit out of your league, but through all obstacle, you managed to actually see your way through to the end. And a couple hours later, you wait for Carter to come out of his stress foaming until he feels a little bit more alive, and you all are escorted by several snakes that didn't join in with the initial charge back to the town. And when you do, you find Horace, and you recant your tale to Horace, and you let him know everything that you saw. Do you inform him about the Crow House, or are you just kind of like putting that in your mental fortress?
I put that in my mental fortress, I guess, but I'll give him the Tome of Conversations. And
he thanks you with all of his heart when you hand him this, as he believes that a tome like this would be capable of being able to possibly find out about any other haglings that could be sprouting up within the year. So if there were any kind of other disappearances that happened in that same year, he would be able to better locate and track them down. And he goes over to, you see that there is a slightly taller, scrawnier man, and he is standing there with Ellie, whose hand is outstretched, holding his, and he's holding her hand with a small bundle. And he gets down on one knee, and he hugs her close, and he says, I know that these people are going to be with you for a little bit, but I want to make sure that you have everything you need. Just know that your old man loves you, okay? And she just looks at him. I know, Dad. I'm going to be a really big, strong wizard one day, and then when I do, I'm going to come back. I'm going to build you a mansion. And he just holds her close again. He says, I know you will, Pumpkin. I know. And he lets her off, and Horace offers his hand out to Ellie and takes her hand and looks at the four of you. Well, I can drive the cart, and I can teach Ellie a few things or two about looking out for hags. If you guys just want to sleep in the back, we can start heading out to Ardenthal and make sure that this little wizard here gets all the training that she needs.
That sounds nice.
And that is where we are going to call it for the evening. Thank you all for joining us through the turning season. It has been a roller coaster of ups and downs, and I am glad that everyone who stayed through chat stuck with us through it all. If you didn't, you're probably watching this on YouTube, in which case, hey, you made it to the end of the video. Congrats.
Hey.
So what did you guys think of the turning season as a side story?
I both love and hate you as a GM.
It's so true, though.
Lots of snake hate.
Oh my gosh. I was literally one turn away from just giving up and going with Old Nan. Like, literally one turn.
Yeah, I figured I couldn't do much. I needed to get one of the people who could get past her resistances alive as a player. And Brother Tree realized it too, because it was like punching a tree. I just couldn't get through her continence and
it was the right call. It really was, because
Yeah. Oh no, definitely.
That was a very good dramatic flair too. Like, A plus, guys.
I posted this in chat for those on YouTube. Whenever we were walking down, Carter gave Brother Tree like the biggest hug after he stopped stress foaming. At one point, Snakes might have joined in, but
I mean, I kind of want to say if he was like up for it, like Whistler would have climbed on top of like Brother Tree's shoulder. It's more like Father Tree now.
And he would have been leaning on his staff pretty heavy, but he would do it.
Father Tree and all of his sprouts. All right. Well, thank you so much to the chat for sticking by. I am the Indoor Adventurer. You can find me on YouTube/Simple and Keen. Now that I got over 100 subscribers, I could finally claim my URL. So go and check that out, or find me on Twitter at Simple and Keen. You can also find these wonderful people on Twitters and other links. Justin, where can we find you?
You can find me at Twitter at RJustice282, stress foaming about these frickin' games. Where I tweet nerdy stuff and like my day-to-day. Yeah.
All right. So, our dear friend Cyberwolf, who played Carter, where can we find you?
you can find me on Twitter at Cyberwolf1201, where I mostly tweet about Critical Role and other fun stuff. You can also find me here on twitch.tv/Cyberwolf1201, where I stress foam about other games, where I don't play a lot of RPGs on my own channel, but I do play video games and talk about the lore because that's a fun thing to do. I'm also very bad at the video games that I play.
Excellent. All right.
But we all have a good time.
All right, Greybeard, where can we find you?
Greybeard's Tavern, Twitch, Twitter, Tumblr, you name it, all the social medias. And also check me out over on Solution Gaming. I'll be over there a lot, sometimes playing with these guys and doing one-shots and campaigns.
All right, awesome. And Wings, where can we find you? Although I feel like your name and .com being up there is pretty
I
good.
wonder where to find Wings.
DanaeKeeter.com. It redirects to my Tumblr, where I'm going to be posting doodles from today and other games. So, see you there.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much to chat for sticking around. Thank you so much to all of you wonderful players for going through this adventure with me. And until next time, guys, bye!
Bye-bye!